Hey friends, this is Dolany TV. Glad to have you aboard this afternoon, this evening, whenever you're tuning in from, maybe even this morning if I schedule it for tomorrow. As we get set to rediscuss one more time here as we continue to crawl along to the trade deadline, Sean Monahan of the Montreal Canadiens, who appears to be the name in the Oilers circles that just will not go away. And as we look at it here, friends, looking at all the options, right? We talked about Elias Lindholm a little bit ago. Now we can talk about, obviously, Sean Monahan. We'll work our way to Adam Henrique probably later in the week. And then as well, we'll discuss Sean Walker, as this is an off week for the Oilers. There's not a whole bunch to talk about. I don't have a bunch of time this week. So, of course, too, that'll factor into just getting the most impactful videos out for the week. But, friends, as we continue along, I have no clue what it's going to look like by the time I hit the live button on this video. But if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button if you're new or returning and haven't done so yet. We're closing in on 15,000, and I tell you, once we hit 15,000, for those of you that have been watching for a while now, I'm going to shut up about the subscribers for a little while. 15,000, one of my last big plateaus for a little bit, and then done. All right, let's get to it, though. How about wasting no more time? Sean Monahan, 13 goals, 22 assists, 49 games played. He's having a rebound year after finally getting healthy. 18 minutes, 27 seconds on a very poor Montreal Canadiens team, all told. I think end of the day, they weren't expected to be great, but also they weren't expected to kind of have the ups and downs that they have had this year. $1.985 million cap hit, as you would have saw over in the Oilers Fanatics update this evening. You would have seen the situation where we're talking about Sean Monahan, guys like that. We have $1 million of cap space available by the deadline at current pace. So for the Oilers, you look at that, well, Sean Monahan at half retained fits under that $1 million, even if you don't do dollar in, dollar out. So that's where we're looking at for that. Sean Monahan, again, will bring up the cap hit because that is kind of the situation here. Although with Monahan, what we've heard reported over the past 3, 4, 5 weeks is that there's going to be a bidding war, and because of that, the likely cost for Sean Monahan is going to be a first-round pick plus, right? First-round pick is the general consensus, but if you go up against the Bostons, you go up against the New York Rangers, you go up against the Colorado Avalanche, those three teams and the Oilers could very well create kind of a mess in the trade market in which Sean Monahan, expected maybe only to get a first-round pick, gets a first-round pick and a Philip Broberg. Maybe the Oilers get something else back. The first-round pick and a third. Something else, right? The Montreal Canadiens will have and already have many suitors for a possible Sean Monahan trade. So when we look at this from all angles, friends, that first round pick is going to be a plus next to it. I am sure by the time the deal, if it indeed gets completed across the NHL for Sean Monahan, is completed, it will have that plus to it. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolany TV. Sean Monahan to the Edmonton Oilers. I'm really not sure if that's going to happen. Again, like I said, go back to that bidding war one more time. The likelihood of this is something, maybe not. But again, for me, it all comes down to the cap hit makes sense. And obviously, if you're slotting in a third-line center between Monahan, Lindholm, and Henrique, Monahan's probably your best player. Henrique's your second. Lindholm, for the cost, is definitely number 3. So factor that in as Sean Monahan continues to lead the pack for a lot of Edmonton Oilers insiders, a lot of hockey insiders in terms of best fit for a Stanley Cup contending team, which the Edmonton Oilers at the start of the year were a favorite, been bumped back down to contender. But you look at this here, is I think Sean Monahan is going to suit a lot of teams, and the Oilers are just one of them as we approach the trade deadline here in the next 5-ish weeks. Friends, I am up on out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, shorter edition. I am up on, gone.